because we have a draft that's coming up. HLE have decided this time to go towards second pick, so it's back to, you know, regular stuff. Blue side will still be picked up here for Gen G. They will have first pick though, and second pick going over to HLE. They might be able to get some counter picks, some options in lane to help them out. Maybe the ability to get counter pick for Delight and get a bottom lane that is actually going to win.
That is the question that they are posing to us, or we are posing to them rather, as to how they're going to find that power in the bottom lane. I mean, funky happened there with our UI, but I think it's fine. Still looking at that first ban here. The timer reset for a second, but either way. Yep, there's the Malphite ban. So
Malph went all the way through.
You get an extra ban, you know, you don't have to ban Varus if you're Gen G.
That's a very good point.
They have to ban it.
Indeed. I think Varus needs to be banned on both sides. Ruler or Gumushi both playing that it's just a recipe for disaster.
Or Keen or Zeus or Zeka or Chovy playing is pretty scary as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Varus is just pretty good. Ambessa, also a scary one. And with the extra flexibility that Gen G does have, they can choose kind of which first pick that they want to go for. Orianna and Azir both being utilized already by Zeka in this series.
It just feels like this is probably going to be a Ryze first pick for Gen G. You know what I mean? It just feels like that's the inevitable game 3 setup we're going to end up with here, where Chovy's just going to farm hard all game long. Pop off on a Ryze on 3 items. That is the... Like, when I look at everything that's gone, all the threats, I'm like, that seems fairly simple to play it out. The fact that Bard and Nico are gone gives you a lot of flexibility in what you want to draft in the bottom lane. So, see what Guma ends up with here.
You could even ban something like a Taliyah if you don't want to deal with it. Like the counterpunch of the Taliyah Pantheon could have been a thing. A Poppy ban is kind of intriguing, as Rumble needs to be banned. If it's not banned, it's... that's an error.
Well, it will be picked. That's what
it will then be picked. That is precisely the outcome. And
okay, so they're going to try to trade Ryze for Rumble, I suppose.
All right, so let's give Keen the POM. I'm going to write Rumble in now.
Well, he's definitely the leader of POM right now, with his performance in Game 1 and then a very strong Gnar in Game 2. I do think they will pick Rumble.
If they don't pick Rumble, then that is silly.
There is no Vi. There's no Wukong. Like, it's not the strongest Rumble angle it could ever be, but it's still very powerful. I think Gen G just really didn't account for this, so they're spending some time discussing.
Whoa! It's Pantheon!
Okay.
Oh, all right. I guess I'll cross that out. Why?
Well, I think it's going to be maybe a Pantheon Taliyah game here for Gen G, but it could also be support Pantheon. There's a lot of flexibility with this.
Yep.
You can see, like, Hanwha Life are like, is this a trap? Like, why would they do this? Why would they give Zeus Rumble?
I mean, we did see Shu lose on the Rumble yesterday.
Now you also give the Ryze, right? So Gen G are basically saying we are always planning on playing the Taliyah side of this. Remember I said earlier every team would have picked Taliyah in that situation in Game 1. I think you probably pick it here. They didn't do it last time.
Give me the Anivia.
I mean, that has been what Chovy has opted for in the past.
It's a fun one.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Chovy's the only one who's won on Anivia, but I do not think it is in an incredibly strong state at the moment. Pantheon synergy kind of there.
Well,
okay, well, the Ornn counter pick was kind of, you know, we had it inside of us all along. We knew it was there. This Cassiopeia counter pick has not really been employed very much this season.
Yeah, it's either bird or snake is what Chovy's thinking about. I think the bird is probably working a little bit better. That's cycling through the 2 options, trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do.
Chovy has told us twice in this series now he thinks Taliyah is bad right now. And he's making a very firm statement about that.
And honestly, I agree.
We all kind of were pretty low on it, but Cassiopeia will be the opt-in here.
So this is the sort of classic counter pick, but with now a Trundle there as well, and Trundle pairs beautifully with the Rumble. So
and Cassiopeia really doesn't like Trundle. You know? She doesn't have a lot of mobility. She doesn't like
and
to get involved.
Really doesn't like Trundle.
I kind of think that Gen G's greed in this draft has been punished in some ways.
If Rumble isn't banned, you pick it, and they just didn't pass that test. It's problematic. If they win here, man, I will be very, very impressed. as let's just see what this bottom lane is going to turn into, right? Bottom lane priority is going to be another huge thing that we do need to talk about. But with the Trundle there already, I thought maybe this could be like a Ruler Kalista angle, and you could run like Kalista Renata and then have the hostile takeover mean that people face in certain directions, and then Chovy gets a lot of value with his Cassiopeia, blah, blah, blah. There's like a few different things there, but instead, we are going to see, like with the Trundle, it makes it so hard to pick that up because it just does make Kalista's life really hard.
It does feel like they were really strongly considering it though with that Ash ban to come through. Lulu is taken away, so looking for just safety in that bottom lane. A scaling pick here for Guma is what I'd expect. They banned the Kalista themselves, interestingly.
Yeah, okay.
And if you go for Lucian here, it's blind. They end up going for Alistar because it's the safest blind support pick right now in the meta. It loses to everything, but Lulu is gone. Like every range support that is. Lulu is gone, the Nico is gone, the Bard is gone. Silas is not playable because both soul lanes are locked up.
You say that.
This is the perfect
The
place to
jungle
play.
isn't locked up, Wolf.
That is true.
There is an angle. I don't know whether they really want to flex the Pantheon into support when there isn't any AD carry being shown. You can get some work done into the Alistar, but let's see what Gen G does want to do here.
I mean,
Aphelios Thresh could just be slammed. That could be fine.
It's not a bad Silas flex, but I do think this is a much safer way because you're not going to get punished in lane, and the Sivir with no Jarvan or anything like that feels pretty good here too. I'm a little bit less inclined to like the Kai'Sa.
I mean, it kind of fits. No, I don't like it either. I think the Sivir is
like what do you follow with Kai'Sa in this draft?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, hang on.
You just lose the lane.
The setup CC is like a cow.
The Kai'Sa is really going to struggle. I think the Sivir actually rounds us out really nicely though because you have the Alistar front line, you have wave clear in both your Ryze side lane and then in your mid lanes to set up for objectives really well. I do think Hanwha Esports got the better draft here, to be honest. Now, they don't have a super strong front line, but Trundle can kind of become one to a certain extent for a brief period of time. And also the Alistar, of course, does exist. Getting on top of this Aphelios doesn't necessarily have to be the game plan. I think just dropping an equalizer in front to backing through the burn damage and just chunking everyone super low and playing the fights really slow in front to backing them is how HLE win this game if they do. But remember, this is more of a scaling composition. They do need to win this game in 34 minutes and 43 seconds.
Yep, it's a very good point. I think this composition absolutely can, though. I think what HLE have put together is kind of beautiful. Rumble has been incredibly powerful in the LCK Cup so far. And Gen G, not a whole lot of incentive, right, for them to really pick everything that's super incredibly powerful. They have 3 more games they're going to play if they don't win this one. Well, 2 more games after this one. So a lot of opportunities here to make better choices, but that Pantheon first pick is still kind of blowing my mind. Kind of amazed that they just did not decide to go with the Keen Rumble that has looked so incredibly good so far. Let's have to see. We'll just have to see as we get onto the Rift here for game number 3, whether HLE can bring us to a 4th. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 3.
Looking for one thing. Okay, it's there. Zeka took Ghost, and this is the best champion in the mid lane, in my opinion, to use Ghost with. Gets the most value. He has Phase Rush. He's very difficult to lock down. But with Pantheon in the equation here, if you're trying to side lane super hard and you don't have teleport, you get picked. That Pantheon pick stocks go way up for shutting Zeka out, making it difficult for him to actually farm the way he wants to. Because if he dies, then you lose an objective because he won't be able to TP back in. He can realm warp towards the objective, but that's really all he can hope for, or ghost back towards it. But the choice he's made here is going to be great for fighting. It's going to be great for team fights. It's, I think, the correct choice, but it does mean the Pantheon could really hurt them because they don't really have any way to match that sort of global on the map here.
Well, right now we're seeing the bottom lane minion waves just being cleared out. And Delight taking a bit of damage, of course, level 1 Alistar, just a sad sight, really. It's not a whole lot of fun. Flay does also make the Alistar's life a little bit difficult, but there's a headbutt pulse as level 2 is going to be gained. Still, Q damage value out of Ruler here with that Severum.
I love how Ruler played that too. He was like, I'll put a little bit of damage into Guma. We can't kill Delight. Trading correctly. He switches back to Calirum to try to poke. Yep. He is really showcasing the early power here into the Alistar lane.
And every secondary summoner spell just used immediately as Chovy now dealing with the Pillar of Filth with the flash forward from Zeka to answer the flash out of Chovy is going to mean that both of our mid laners are now without flash. The Rune Prison off screen right there, but just going to check out the top lane momentarily and then realize that the top lane is not interesting and move on back.
Yeah, very much what we kind of alluded to before is Cassiopeia does not like the pillars, but Chovy does not have even a second thought about flashing, does it so instantly as the double interrupt from Duro.
That was not bad. That ward is getting a lot of value. And so Ruler will now have a lot of spare time with this wave. Grimmer is still thinking about going for a reset. And so that means that it is going to be even more minions left to the wayside. This Sivir is going to fall very far behind. Yeah, does want to get an early cull just to make sure that cash-in happens as soon as possible, but I think you are giving up just that little bit too much.
Yeah, I mean, you get back to lane so fast in this meta.
It's a good point. Maybe I'm overestimating
Let's see. I mean, it looks like he's going to lose none, actually. In fact, he just barely gets back in time.
I think he lost a couple of melees that had already died before we checked it out.
I mean, that wave, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. Find himself about a wave down in general in this lane, so not ideal. The Alistar I don't think is a bad pick, but you know the way they fought in the lane there and how well piloted it was by Ruler and Duro was really the big story. Plus the double interrupt that he got, which ruined everything. Right, that was pretty massive. So just small things like that in this meta can actually stack up to mean so many big things later on.
Yeah, and Duro, I haven't seen him play Thresh, I don't think. It's been quite some time, but this has been a favorite for so many of our supports. He's also using Martyr's Skin, which is just objectively the best one. As Canyon going to spot this Gromp spawning, and we'll be taking this one down. Only level 4, so it doesn't quite have the Grand Starfall just yet. As Zeus trying to look for an angle towards Keen. It's that Bellows Breath, and the Brutal Proc is going to work out very nicely there, but he's still suffering a little bit here in this lane, as we would expect. Rumble is just very strong at this point in time.
Right, very strong, very powerful in team fights, and kind of naturally wins most lanes. The Ornn mitigates a lot of that, but eventually you just become very powerful. Checking into Duro's Thresh stats right now because you've piqued my interest. He has played it 7 times.
All right.
He's 4 and 3. Or sorry, 3 and 4, excuse me.
Ooh, let's see whether we can even it out or whether it is going to fall further into a deficit. And if it does fall into a deficit, then we get more League of Legends, which is kind of what we want here.
Yeah, fall into a deficit, but also like a 35 minutes plus game.
Yep.
And then give us more stakes for the rest of it.
Yep. That's all we want here. Just keep the stakes.
As Ruler is trading back effectively here. There's the teleport for Zeus.
Oh, this ward. Oh, no. It just barely missed out. As now Chovy could be in trouble as well. He does get the Petrifying Gaze down. As now Canyon dives in on top of Guma, but he has a great spell shield to avoid that stun.
And the flash angle was amazing as well to get himself over that wall. Well, there's no follow-up, doesn't get caught by the hook. And he is going to be able to, I mean, he obviously doesn't want to flash, but that would have been much worse.
Neither of those ganks worked is kind of insane.
Yeah.
Because of the flashless Cassiopeia, that seemed like a pretty good target. But they do get Gumayusi's flash. That is a big deal. As Kanavi is just lumbering back towards this mid lane.
Kojovi's wave manipulation has been so great this series. Feels like he just can always farm, even under threat, even without his flash. Gets away this time again.
Yeah, doing
Keen is
fine.
Just, you know, getting warm.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, he is a blacksmith, you know, so he's no stranger to the forge.
I remember once upon a time people would say, like, don't pick Rumble, Ornn is up. We've moved past that quite a bit.
Yeah. And this is like, we haven't really been seeing this. I think we've been seeing more Scions picked into Rumble as well, as you just have that little bit more agency in the early stages of the game. The Ornn is still going to be able to build items, right? Like, if we get to a late game and Ruler gets, like, an ornamented Infinity Edge or something like that, like, it's still just kind of nutty.
Kanavi does not have vision.
He does have Smite. Canyon is just going to press Q and Smite together.
Yeah, the Q Smite, quite strong.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that. We did have Zeka hanging out here to potentially threaten if he wanted to contest, but he just smites it away and doesn't care.
And the problem is that means that Canyon has level 6 and Kanavi doesn't.
Yeah.
So this top lane is just completely safe.
And in fact, not safe for Zeus if Canyon wants to ult up here.
Yeah.
That is a strong possibility. They don't have vision, though, of where Kanavi is, so I don't think he'll opt for it. As the vision with a controlled lane by Zeus just gives him a ton of power there. Had Ruler heading towards the mid lane for a moment. Ends up losing some CS here.
Actually going to hit the level 6 now, but did miss a couple of minions. So that means that within touching distance is Gumyushi right now. It's only like a 35 gold difference, not really much of anything at all.
The Ornn pick feels really good outside of the lane, obviously, for the ornaments for both Cassiopeia and the Aphelios, and I think that's perhaps part of why they picked it. If you think about the greater composition and how it scales, if you're like, yeah, they can have Rumble, we'll have the counter pick Ornn, and we'll get the ornaments, and we'll play a long game here. It does kind of make sense in that sense. I'd still rather be on the Rumble side if it were up to me, but...
I mean, there's also a Trundle. That's the problem, is there's a pulverized flash here out of Delight. Gets Duro into a good position, and Hook connects onto Zeka, but he is still here. That's going to be a kill delivered over to Gumyushi. First blood goes to the Sivir, and that is HLE once again off to a great start.
Yeah, so that HLE early game, looking great. Still robust. Very powerful. Let's see what happens next.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. My problem with Genji's composition this time is that I still don't like it. Like, it's still not quite as good.
But
so now with the early game advantage, HLE are in a really good spot.
But I do think conditions are right for Genji to win a team fight and come back and win the game with this composition.
All right. I mean, it's not even with this composition, Wolf. It's with the
players.
No,
exactly. That's you didn't like their comp that much in game 2 either. And
yeah. I mean, we'd still be saying it if they had 5 Teemos, man. Like, they just team fight better. They have too many mushrooms, you know? 5
Teemos would be broken, man. The whole team is blind and the mushrooms are on the ground.
I haven't actually played an all-for-one Teemo game. That would be fun. I played all-for-one Maokai. That's really fun. There's a lot of trees. Miserable. That's a lot of saplings, man.
I think that sounds like the opposite of fun.
It's very funny. It does mean that if anyone ever walks into their jungle, they are just probably about to die. That's all right. Keen is going to be running away from Zeus here, which is going to be a theme throughout this game. First rake does go over to Genji, though.
Normally, when you commentate a game like this, you set up the stakes of like Hanwha Life, like, okay, great early game, their comp is super strong, they have all the answers, we like their draft better, they got the first dragon, they interrupted some backs here. Look, man, this is such a solid, but it's like, well, you know, I have watched the rest of this series.
Yeah. You do have to add the caveat, don't you? That's just what it kind of feels like.
And actually, the dragon was taken by Genji. My mistake on that one. I don't know why I thought Hanwha got a dragon. This try, I'm rooting for him. You know, I want to see this early game blossom into something. Atlas.
We just want more video games. That's the priority.
They'll get the grubs, surely.
Well, Equalizer goes down. Keen is dealing with all of these things that are coming on through, but the Ram is going to come down. There's the knock-up as well, as Keen should be able to help take this kill down, but the Scrap Shield is going to buy a little bit of time. Finally, Zeus does fall as Kanavi comes in and eats the Ornn. Subjugate, pretty powerful when used against a tank, and even in this early stage of the game, that is going to work out very, very nicely. So a 1-for-1 does come on through there in the top lane.
Does interrupt the grubs secure for Kanavi, so he actually only got 1. But Canyon not in a position to take the other 2 right now, so he might still get them later, but was hoping for 3 there, and then that whole situation did develop with Canyon's ultimate coming in.
Yep, a little bit of a debacle.
A little small debacle.
Sundered Sky is now done for Canyon, though, so it might mean that Genji can actually go over and grab those next couple of grubs. Does have a bit of jungle to get through as well.
Essence Reaver for Guma done as well. It's really nice early game power for this Sivir. Yeah, I mean, the fact that Keenan just like ate an Equalizer and then he was like, all right, this kind of, you know, tells you what this Ornn is going to do.
The placement was so good. As Ruler is dead, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to flash. For some reason. Does have to grab it in the air. Does try. Oh my gosh! Yeah, does get the ward down. Moonlight Vigil comes on in, and Kanavi is just dead. Zeka finally makes his way forward, and the Aphelios will be taken down. But a 1-for-1 is not what I was expecting there.
Yeah, I mean, the ward placement was quick onto that Lantern.
Yeah.
But, like, if Ruler gets out
survived,
there,
I would, oh, man.
I'm so happy that Delight was just like, no, this is BS.
Yeah, and honestly, it would have been.
He's like, what's more stupid, the fact that you could deny Thresh Lanterns with wards, or the fact that you almost got out while standing there after I headbutted you to oblivion?
Well, now Gumiushi has a gigantic gold advantage. Let's have a look at this one more time.
I don't want to look at it one more time. Like, Ruler's position here is illegal.
Yeah.
Duro's like, no, hold on. Grab them and go right. I got a lantern for you. Ruler's like, okay. Flashes to the right. Ghosts. Runs out here. Gets the Gravitum. Lantern flashed, by the way. And Delight's just like, hell no.
Immediately double warded. And Goomer is the one that actually picks up the kill. It's a large reason why he does have such a huge gold advantage. As Delight's now dabbing, having a great time. Ruler's still here towards his bottom side, as we still have just one of the grubs being taken. No one's really done too much else about it, and there's vision for everyone in the area.
Yeah.
More plates still go over, though, so Ruler is at least trying to thin this lead
Canyon
a little.
Is up there, so maybe he will finish them. There's a ward on them. Maybe he will go over there and say, all right, we'll take the 2.
There are more camps, though. So it needs to take the wolves first.
Yeah, the grubs don't give us much money.
Yeah, very important. As Keen will deny a cannon, actually. Zeus not actually going to be in lane to pick that one up. And Canyon now will just move on forward to take the remaining grubs.
He
Finally,
found out
they will be going down.
There. He's like, that's extra money. I guess it's worth now. Ruler again?
Yeah, Ruler, I think, is just dead. He doesn't have any summoner spells. Kanavi makes his way down. The Lantern is almost blocked, but it doesn't quite work, as now Delight, Unbreakable Will comes on through, and Keen will throw out the round to take down the cow. That is going to do it. It's a fight in the farmhouse, as the hook is going to be picked up here onto Kanavi, but he's able to walk it off. He'll just be fine, but that is just a really good counter gang.
Is this a Duro POM angle, actually?
Honestly, after the Bard game, I'm thinking maybe.
And I mean, obviously the Lantern was denied, but the whole setup to try to save Ruler down there as well, like, I am enjoying this Thresh quite a lot.
It's pretty slick.
I'm enjoying less the fact that we're getting closer to 15 minutes and the lead is gone.
Yeah, that
continues to be a small issue. As Ruler here doesn't have sums, but he does have a Lantern. And even with the pillar on top of it, he's able to get out of there. And Delight, his ult is ticking, takes a ton of damage here. And the ult comes through from Keen. Now, this is not free, because they do end up losing a lot of money on the top side to the Rumble of Zeus. See, he got 1 plate up there and got some extra farm, and some farm was lost for Keen, but I think it's worth.
Yep. He's also got his Rook Urn completed now as well, and so things get a bit easier in the isolated 1v1. Does mean that obviously Kanavi is going to still press Subjugate and feel really, really happy. Problematically though, Canyon is now 2-0. And so this Pantheon is just so incredibly large. Chovy's teleported in, looking for an angle here as Zeus is on a ward. Gets poisoned there, and there is the exhaust down onto Canyon. They do manage to get the play back onto Delight, and he's just dead before the fight's even really started. It's the secure on the Dragon for Canyon as well, as Keen comes in. Equalizer placement is gorgeous though. Zeus is going to pay for it with his life as the Twin Fangs, they do come in, and Duro's going to be taken down. Zeka looks for the kill, but Canyon, he gets himself out. Chovy has enough health bar, and he's able to just kite this one forward. The poison is not going to connect, but this is just ridiculous. Why is Duro the only one dead?
Canyon, I thought perhaps was considering going back in there, but Duro's the only one who dies, and Zeka looks stressed out on the player cam.
I mean, honestly, I'm stressed out too.
I mean, the equalizer was brilliant there, but it's just, unfortunately, just not enough. If it's 2 items on Guma, I think maybe this fight looks a little bit different. But one of the critical parts of this, if we rewind all the way back to that fail on the dive and Delight cranking his ultimate there, means he doesn't have it here. And he's the one who goes in and just disappears. Like, his health bar doesn't exist. He doesn't have ult. Kanavi takes a ton of damage as well. The secure goes over to Genji. And Genji get a little greedy here. They stay a little bit. Zeus' equalizer is beautiful. The box, though, prevents any sort of real follow-up here. And they just kind of kite it out. Zeka looks for the flash here, but hits Chovy and not Canyon. And Chovy just flashes away.
Do you think it was a misclick? Do you think he was trying to hit the Rune Prison onto Chovy, but they were like sharing too many pix? Sorry, he was trying to hit it on Canyon, but they were sharing pixels, or maybe he thought that he could like use the Flux Overflow to kill Canyon by default anyway.
I mean, I don't. Maybe he thought if we kill Chovy, we can actually maybe like group and take out the turret.
Yeah.
I think maybe that was the reason why he decided to target Chovy there.
And Chovy was maybe more of the threat. Maybe it's just like the I'm going to get more out of this play sort of response.
Exactly, because Canyon
takes a turret.
He can't really, Canyon can't really go back in and impact anything else that happens after that, so maybe that's the reason, but it almost looked like Chovy blocked for Canyon, which is hilarious, but that's not what happened. It was a choice, and it may not have been the correct one.
Well, I mean, hindsight is 20/20. We don't need to go into it. It's a 1,000 gold lead here for Genji. And
Guma is large.
Keen has a lead as well.
Yeah, Guma is large, but team fights look like that. Might not matter. And I do think that when we get to 25 minutes plus in this game, Hanwha's comp is incredibly scary with how much power it has and how much scaling it has. I mean, so does Gen G's comp, and they will have ornaments, but it's very easy to play Hanwha's comp, especially with Equalizer messing up Gen G's positioning and things like that. But they want to win fast, as we've discussed many times. Ooh. I still think it's possible, obviously, for them to win an explosive team fight here in this mid game and do it. But they don't have that lead anymore.
They do not. They, in fact, have a negative lead. Some would call it a deficit. As it's also a Chemtech ult. I thought it was going to be an Infernal, but here's a train. There's the knockup. Hook is going to connect, and they'll just chain CC Kanavi. He does get so much of his health bar back though. Moonlight Vigil, not quite enough, and there's the bottom lane biting the dust. They put too much into the Trundle, and he just lives. The King's tribute was paid, and Gumayusi for some reason died. And Kanavi does his shenanigans with the Rift Herald. That should spell the end of this outer turret in the mid lane.
Yeah,
2 for 1 in the end.
There. He took a ton of turret damage, but actually you didn't see how Ruler got the kill on him there.
Canyon may kill Zeus, and yes, he does.
All right, well, that was a pretty tricky move. Just ult on top of the Rumble. He's hanging out over there, and he's dead.
Yeah.
All right.
Not that tricky after all.
Yeah.
Now that you say it like that.
Yeah, once you say it, it's like, oh, that's actually pretty obvious. This fight here looked pretty doomed. I was like, I guess Orange the counter to Trundle, by the way. Low. It sets up the CC, but then he actually just lives so much. He gets so much healing.
And then as soon as people start dying, he gets even more health back.
Turret aggro. Turret aggro.
Yeah, he just puts down the Rift Herald, and he's like, I can do my Rift Herald shenanigans now.
Yeah, I still not 100% sure how he died there. I think maybe Calibrum. Anyways. This was very fun. Nice chase here by Canyon. Not as tricky as casters lied about, a specific caster lied about moments before.
Oh, what a silly.
I don't know. I used the wrong adverb.
Do you know what would be really cool, Wolf? If as Keen hits levels 19 and 20, he can add even more ornaments. Like he can have double ornaments. Is that a thing?
I don't think it's on Christmas.
I don't think it's. Oh, is it? And it's not. Wait, if you kept your Christmas tree up though, does it count?
No.
Damn it.
Sorry, only once a year.
I put mine away as well. I'm normally really tardy, but not this time.
It's actually much weaker on leap years because you get one extra day where it's not possible to use it.
Wait, is it a leap year this year? Do we have less
of
a February? That's kind of cool.
Wait, no, it's not. It's not a leap year this year.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Right? I don't know.
Do you know anyone with a 29th of February birthday?
No. No,
I
actually don't. Sorry.
I was always really intrigued about that because I really like Pirates of Penzance. And it turned out one of the pirates was actually just really young because he only had one birthday every 4 years.
Yeah, I wonder, like, I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into it. This is a very high-stakes series.
Yeah, it's a really.
But it's an interesting conversation for sure.
We can go back to it. We're filming the Pog State later, so maybe we can go into it there.
This is a dragon setup here for Gen G that's very difficult to crack. Hanwha have no vision.
Yep. Ruler has so much range as well as Delight goes in once again, but his health bar is just missing. Gets the pulverize onto Chovy though. That's the turn that they're looking for. But the cow is just going to go down. The Seraph Shield massive here as Chovy's looking relatively safe, and Ruler is just terrifying. HLE now 4 versus 5, and Sekka is in the front line, not where he wants to be. As the hook is going to go wide, Boomerang Blade also not finding the mark as Ruler finding himself in a very good position. That moonshot, my God. The damage out of this Aphelios is just obscene with Storm Surge and Infinity Edge. And Gen G, they take Soul Point, they get themselves a kill, and they get another one with no response.
Yeah, Guma's positioning was very safe in that fight, but he wasn't able to offer the damage they needed. And this time the Equalizer really did not get high value. Not to mention that the Alistar ult is super late here for Delight. By the time he uses it, he's taking so much damage. It's not enough to save him because they have full control of that side of the fight. In live, looks like Kanavi might be caught as well. But look at Guma, he just cannot hit the bad guys. You know what I mean? Like he cannot actually join the fight. Once again, is split up by Gen G. Kanavi does survive in live, but Gen G, just like they did in Game 2 on the Baron, just completely cut Hanwha in half and make it so difficult for the fight to play out.
Yeah, and as soon as Gen G is spread like that, the value of the Sivir just isn't as high, and now the value of the Sivir might be going away. She does have to flash. Good spell shield there from Gumayusi. Make sure he keeps himself alive. But I'm starting to see the value of this on now starting to come through as Canyon has his Black Cleaver upgraded. Obsidian Cleaver.
Yes.
Is, I believe, what the name was.
Guma has the highest damage in the game. See if that can continue as Duro.
Yeah, that is going to be Zeka getting flayed back. Does have the Ghost, though, so he should be able to catch back up again. Good bellows breath there from Keen, but he just searingly charges out of the way of the Lantern. He requires no Lantern.
I don't think they can turn this into a Baron. I think if they had gotten a kill there, might have been able to tease the idea.
Ghost. There we go. Skirmishes does still have another Ghost available, though. His R button has one.
Yeah, it kind of makes everybody have it.
Yeah, sometimes you just really want to press Ghost, and that's what our 280 carries did just say. Delight does have his ultimate back up again once more.
That's kind of like some 80 carry brain stuff right there, where you're like, if he's ghosting, I have to ghost. There might be, like, I might not know what's going on, but we need to make sure that we have even power level because we're fighting Euro Baron, and this could actually be game deciding.
Yeah,
you press the button.
Because you press the button, I can now press the button.
It's like he's pressing the button, that means like they actually win this fight, so I gotta press it.
I don't want to do the mental gymnastics. I am just also going to press it.
Yeah, do not want to be disadvantageous in that skirmish. And it turns out that Han will lose control over the Baron, and now this top turret may just be forfeit here. Chovy whittling away.
And Kanavi?
I mean, he can't really offer anything back here.
This is the problem. In the jungle matchup, the Pantheon is just so strong. As Keen, he's in the mid lane, actually does take a fair bit of damage. Lord Doms is completed here for Gumayusi. You mentioned he's done a lot of damage so far this game. That will continue because he can cut through this on, especially after he gets subjugated. As Chovy, he will decide to take the turret down.
He's like, Chovy, please take the turret.
Yeah, Kanavi's like, come on, man, no, come back.
Like, send the minions to us, okay? I don't want that turret alive any longer.
Yep.
I think the damage for Guma has been high. He's obviously a Sivir. He has LDR.
I mean, he's 4-1-1. He's set up.
He is pretty huge, but the damage needs to be effective, right? If he is just hitting a front line and almost killing an Ornn while the rest of his team is disappearing very quickly, especially his Alistar, then it doesn't necessarily matter how much damage he's done. It's not necessarily his fault, but the team comp here for HLE needs to work together. And I mentioned before with the Rumble, you know, there isn't a whole lot of setup to equalize one person in particular, right? You kind of just use it as a zoning tool, but if the enemy team is past you in tempo, they just walk past it or just ignore it entirely.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if it's Delight going in and then a pillar in a good spot, then the equalizer can be brilliant in this game.
Just a lot of
Zeka's follow-up as well on a priority target. Like, if they do have their ducks in a row, it can be devastating. The problem is, even though the placement from Zeus has been great, like you're saying, that layering of CC hasn't necessarily been there, so the walk strategy has been that little bit more powerful. Not to mention upgraded Swifties that Chovy has gone for on the Cassiopeia, just finally allowed back into the shoe shop.
Yeah, he was like, I guess I don't need to go Ghost. I'll just go TP and have this.
Yep, Swifties, permanent Ghost. There you go.
This is Chemtech Soul for Genji if they get this, by the way, which is pretty insane value for them with this Ornn and even the Aphelios.
And the Cassio, honestly, with Seraphs.
Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, this is actually kind of crazy how much damage they'll be able to do.
Ooh, Keen. Ooh, just barely. Yep. Duro not going to be able to find that there, but the observing, gorgeous. Beautiful.
They're just trying to chip away at this turret before the dragon spawns. HLE have no prio here whatsoever.
All right, Canyon does dive on top of Kanavi here.
Gets a pillar cooldown.
He can just take his Lantern to get himself back. That might be Delight looking for an opportunity, but he gets hooked once again. Pulverized the air. Just looked a little bit frustrated.
He was
understand
mad.
why.
Angry cow.
Yep, very angry cow. Hook going to go wide yet again, though. So support's just kind of missing some buttons. But
I mean,
wait,
Atlas,
hang on.
They're just going to try to do Baron here.
I guess.
I think
Genji may just get the soul, and then they can probably ult Canyon in if they do want to try and contest for this.
I don't know about this one, Hanwha. Very risky.
Yeah, they get the information here as Canyon's going to press that button. The train going to leave the station as well. As in goes the Pantheon. It's going to be a 50-50 as he can take the Lantern as well. He's into the pit, and there's the steal for Canyon. The hook goes wide yet again, but the cow is mincemeat, and Canyon's still alive for such a long time. Chovy stopping the retreat here as he's just slithering out the back of the pit, but that is still a couple of kills. Petrifying Gaze catches Guma. He does use the spell shield pretty well, but Zeka's so close to dead, and Ruler says good night to the rest of HLE, and probably sends them home from the LCK Cup.
It looks like HLE is not going to play-ins, Atlas. That was the back-breaking moment, and it starts off again with Delight getting caught, not in this fight, but in the previous one where he had to use his ultimate, so now he is just not durable. Look at how quickly he dies here, and the Dragon is, or sorry, the Baron is stolen. Delight's off on the other side trying to buy space here. And this fight is otherwise fairly decent here for Guma, right? Like he has these low health bars, he's trying to whittle them down, he's trying to get in there. Look at how low Keen goes. But then Chovy just says, we didn't just steal a Baron, we won the game. Watch this.
Yeah. He saw that angle, and getting that one Twin Fang was almost enough for Guma. But then Ruler was still alive, so he's dead.
야, 지훈아, 너 뭐야? 맛있는데? 좋은데?
He was very happy about that.
Yep. Something was delicious, let's just say that. As HLE fans...
In tatters, man.
Absolutely. It is only a 4,500 gold lead, but there is now Baron for another minute and a half, and this Chemtech Soul, often we meme about it, but for this composition, it's scary. Also, as time goes on, Keen dishes out thousands and thousands of gold to Gen G players.
Yeah, and if you can't win that fight, and now you don't, you're losing your structures, you can't get back out on the map, can you win any fight in this game?
Keen needs to make an ornament for Chovy and for Ruler, like right now. They're missing 2,000 gold because he just hasn't pressed the button.
Yeah, it's
right?
kind of
He's
crazy.
level 16.
Yeah, he also like gave it to Pantheon.
Yeah, because he was like right there. Keen is now going to give one to Ruler. There we go. And now gives one to Chovy. Finally. Okay, there's that upgraded Infinity Edge. We are going to see... Okay, never mind. That is just... Okay, just gets out. Sometimes you just press R and everything is A-okay. Chovy didn't actually get his item, though, as we can see.
Yeah, not quite.
It's just Ruler that demands to have his ornament delivered.
Ruler is level 15. He is pretty big. He is ready to fight. He has Red Gun here and his ultimate as well with the Infernum, so chasing this is not really viable here for HLE, but they are able to, with a scrappy take of the Baron, keep their inhibitors alive. The base isn't broken. In fact, all inhibitor turrets fairly healthy here as well. Guma picks up IE.
That's a lot of damage.
They have to win this game if this is going to be the game that gets them into play-ins in 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And with all of these structures up, I just don't see it. So, I mean, if you win it, you get another chance.
They just win the game. Yeah. Exactly. That's all they need to do. And then they can win the other one in any time they like.
That's right.
It doesn't matter at all. You just need to win. That's the main thing. Is Canyon, who's looking at the bottom lane, did get interrupted, but still yeah. He's out.
There are 5 people on me, and they got a realm warp. And I'm out of here.
Yeah. He just pressed the button. I thought it looked like he got interrupted from something because he was looking over the other side. He's like, I could probably ult in here. And then he goes back to seeing 4 bad guys and then just presses on his mini-map and he's fine.
And they might have been front-loaded with the CC there. As Keen has finally given over that upgraded Seraphs to Chovy.
Yep.
And... What is the good news for Hana? Like, what's the good story? What's the in? Like, they're huddled in their base and they're using Silverwave to buy time.
Their Nexus is still alive. That is the positive.
Okay,
it's
so
also they still have 3-4 minutes.
So, besides that, what is the good news?
It's not a 10,000 gold lead. It's only a 6,000 gold lead.
Okay, all right.
They can still fight for Elder in a minute and a half.
It is insane to me, but I mean, this is the format that everybody in their group played through. Yeah, they struggled in this group quite substantially, but it is crazy to me that this team might be playing the last minutes of League of Legends here in LCK Cup, defending LCK Cup and First Stand champions.
And it was like, in First Stand and LCK Cup, HLE was so dominant.
Yeah.
Like, they were such a scary team.
We were calling them like the Fearless Kings. They figured it out.
Yeah.
We're seeing the Vladimir. Everything was...
They were doing all
so
the cool
exciting.
things.
They came off of, at that time, of course, the win, the LCK Summer. Things have changed here.
Well, now the train is going to come on through. Maybe this is the last call. As there's the hook back. And the Trundle is just dead before he can do anything at all. Canyon takes the Lantern Ride to get himself to safety. These ricochets are cutting them to pieces.
And it's just such a tragedy. Every time Keen presses R, like somebody dies. Canyon's very low here, but he has GA, so he doesn't really care.
Yeah, it looks like Gen G still want to try and find an angle.
I mean, Elder spawns in 20 seconds. Maybe the flip angle and the one team fight from that could get Han with a win in time. It could happen.
Yeah, Grand Starfall is actually not available as Canyon did manage to stop the back. The play is so good, though, to deny. Petrifying Gaze doesn't do the most work, but Keen gets to Gumushi into the backline, but he does flash his way out. The problem is, though, his range is too low. It's a triple kill for Ruler, and Gumyushi cannot do anything by himself in this bottom lane with an angry conductor looking to take him down, breathe some fire. Look at that skin. Isn't it just fantastic? As Keen will be able to demonstrate it one more time in the POM view that we will get later on today.
I don't know. It's crazy. Keen got his first career penta, and yet my vote finger still kind of gets drawn to the support vote again here.
Oh, and we have the dangerous double support English desk as well at the space. Oh dear, Ruler almost dies to that turret, but it's looking like that 3-0 that everyone was dreading. And HLE, this was their final game at the LCK Cup. Gen.G will send them home early and save the lives of the pros.
A much stronger support in this series.
I feel like there has been like an elephant looming in the room, and it has been Delight having a pretty wanting performance so far today, but that's okay. Don't need to talk about it because yeah, HLE, even with Gumyushi doing double that of almost everybody else's damage on the Rift, it's not enough if you can't get the kills.
Not effective damage, yeah, you can't get the kills, it doesn't matter. Gen.G, amazing performance, and even though I really wanted to give it to Duro, I did ultimately give it to Keen. He got his first career penta, his Gnar game was amazing, and so he picks it up here. I'm sure there will be at least